nose first. I never did that before. I have a tattoo appointment today. I scheduled it for 2 p.m. knowing fully that my French class ends at 1:50, thinking somehow I could make the 15-minute walk back to my apartment, put like my stuff down in here, and then make the 10-minute drive there, and get there by 2 p.m. So there's obviously some delusions going on. This is like the first one that I didn't have like a set reference picture already. So I was like, okay, here's a bunch of references from other artists, and here's like the font that I want, here's what I want to say, and then I'm just trusting her to come up with something nice, because I've heard that tattoo artists usually don't come up with designs until like the day of a lot of the times. So I assume she's coming up with it today, and then I'll see it for the first time in a few hours. So this is really difficult for me as somebody who loves to, you know, micromanage. And I understand and respect giving artists creative freedom, because I also need that as an artist that doesn't make art ever. I also need that. So I'm just hoping that it's something that I really like, because I don't want to have to make too many adjustments, because I'm scared. Because what if I say I don't like it and she's like, okay, kill yourself, and I'll just have to kill myself. I'm gonna go back to Kroger because I've been putting off a return for about 2 weeks now for this lotion I was really excited to get, but was already open, and I'm afraid of most things. So even though I know that it was probably just someone in there smelling it or whatever, my mind is saying it's the Advil poisoner again, except he's specifically targeting cocoa butter Vaseline mix that was $2.98. You never know. I'm not trying to be the next victim. Like, imagine I'm just living my life and then I set off, or I'm like the first victim of a bunch of serial killers. Like the Advil, was it Advil? I don't remember. Like the guy who like poisoned a bunch of Advil bottles and just left before it, which is like what set off the seal on the bottle. It's like, don't use it broken. And the seal was broken. My whole life has been spent trying not to be the next murder victim. And so far I've done a very good job. And imagine if that all goes away because I decide to, yeah, I'll just use it. And then I wake up the next morning with acid burns. Then what? That would be so embarrassing. I've done a complete 180 from, well, not complete, but a 180 from, okay, I've done a 90 from the beginning of the semester, where I was like, baddie mentality, I need to be baddie, which means taking great care of yourself every day, putting hours of time into your look. And I'm still kind of on that, but now I'm just like, it's time. But I'm trying. I'm wearing a little pink outfit today. This is like one of the only pink things I own, which is so sad. I need to go get some more stuff. I thought I had way more, and then the time comes for me to go to a strawberry-themed picnic, and I'm the only one pulling up in a pink tank top. Everyone else has like flowy pink dresses, and I look a fool. I need to re-enter my Sally Rattenmouse phase. If you were a Geronimo Stilton reader like me, then you know what's up. I really loved Tia Stilton, but Geronimo was the first one I read. And he was the first person that I ever sent hate mail to, or I tried. Okay, you know how you guys know. You know all about Geronimo Stilton. And how he used to date this one mouse, I don't remember her name. But, and this one, like, he was obsessed with her. Like, they were soulmates or whatever. I don't even know. I don't remember if she liked him back, but, and he was, like, obsessed with her for books and books. And then one book comes around, and some other mouse comes, and he's, like, infatuated with her. And he's, like, chasing her. And I was, like, what is going on? Like, what happened to all that, like, I'm I'm like only for this mouse, like she's the one, like I love her, we're together. I don't remember if they were together or if he was just being like a stalker creep. He probably, I don't need to reread John Stilton, I'm 28. But I was like infuriated, and I sat down and I got my little stationery and I filled out like 2 pages of hate mail to Geronimo Stilton saying like, what do you think you're doing? Like, you have a girlfriend. Like, why are you cheating on her with this other mouse? Like, I was so serious. And I addressed it to him. I don't remember if it was just like some random address from the book or if it was like the author's like P.O. box or whatever. Um, and I like sealed it up, put a little stamp on everything. And then like a few hours later, my parents, they were like, Zoe, come here. And they sat me down, and before them was the opened letter of hate mail, and they were like, you may not send this to Jonas Stilton. This is what is called hate mail. And that was the first time I ever heard that phrase. And I was like, you guys don't understand. He said he was in love with this mouse, and then in this book, he's like completely just chasing another girl. Like, she doesn't know about it. She has to know. Like, he has to know that this is bad, and that like readers like me are holding him accountable for this behavior, and they're like, you cannot send this to him. And I was so upset. And you know what, I should have been allowed to send it, because I don't believe in not holding men accountable for their actions. Somebody should have let him know. What they did that day was censoring me. I was doing it for her. Just as I do today. I do it for her. John Stilton, mark your days. I think that may have been the last book of his I've ever read. I was so angry. And then I moved on to Thea Stilton, who is the epitome of girl boss. Notice how I said epitome and not epitome, like I usually would? It's because I know how to read now. But Tia, my queen, her and her little posse of girl mouses, girl mice, obsessed, wanted to be her. I haven't paused once. Maybe this is like reverse psychology for me. I was gonna say Pavlov. Is it Pavlov? I'm gonna ignore that. Is it Pavlov? Wait. Pavlov? Every time I'm trying to say it. Is it Pavlov? Pavlov? No. Is it Pavlov? Pavlov? Or Pavlov? Hello? Can you? Pavlov? Pavlov. I don't think that's right.
Pavlov.
She's saying Pavlov, but the other Google is saying Pavlov. We solved it. It's
Pavlov.
Okay, she's changing it.
Pavlov.
That wasn't any of the choices that I had. Pavlov. Why did I get this out? I'm not wearing this. Now I'm just wasting time. What was I talking about with Pavlov? Okay, I'll just continue talking about Tia Stilton, because she's such an icon. First of all, they lived in New Mouse City, which, if it's anything like New York City, which of course is its successor, there's no way that Geronimo and Tia would be okay, maybe not Geronimo, because he was like a journalist, right? Right? You tell me. But he was like a journalist or something, and he lived in a brownstone. Ain't no way. And he lived alone. Absolutely not. It's just not realistic. In the very first book, she gets this call from like her old professor on some secluded island of some prestigious college. Okay, the first book of Tia Stilton is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. By the way, I could not read. Like, I really tried. I read, let me get my thoughts in order. It's not One of Us is Lying, and it's not We Were Liars. Oh, wait, it was one of those. No, it wasn't. One of Us is Lying is that book about those six high schoolers, right? And then We Were Liars is about the one where the girl was hallucinating that her friends were still alive on that beach. Which one is the one that was exactly like The Secret History? Where they killed that one guy and they were like, that didn't happen. It was that book. But it was almost like the exact same as The Secret History, I heard. Again, I didn't finish The Secret History. I read the other one and it was pretty good. But the Secret History, I tried to start it and I just could not get through it because of how annoying. Like, I was reading it and I was like, there's no way that I would not have made fun of these people. Like, I wasn't even cool, but those people were so irritating and so pretentious. I was like, I can't do it. Anyway, Tia Stilton is The Secret History. So she went there to like this prestigious island college. And I don't really remember what the mystery was, but I think somebody was missing. She assembles like this girl boss posse of like, I think they were all alumni of the college as well. Is Tia Stilton a trust fund baby? Is Tia Stilton a nepotism baby? I think she's a nepotism baby actually, because there's no way that Geronimo Stilton, as bad as a journalist as he is, was able to build up such a reputation that he could live by, like, on his own and support his sister. Absolutely not, because he had no backbone and he was annoying and pathetic. And he cheated on his mouse. His girl mouse. His mouse girl. Mouse friend. I guess she's still a girl. Girl mouse? I'm gonna try to remember their names. Okay. First of all, I didn't notice that they were all like racial stereotypes of themselves, lucky. Or I guess the stereotypes of their country. Because there was only like 2 people, mice of color. This is cute. I'm gonna do this. There was an Australian one. I don't remember her name. And literally all she'd be like is good day, good day, good. And she had like a boomerang. Like, that was her weapon of choice. And then there was this girl from Peru. I don't remember her name either. I don't remember any of their names right now, but she had, I think hers was okay. I don't know a lot about Peruvian culture, but I don't recall her saying any like racial stereotypes. But I think she was like the computer genius. I guess that makes the Australian girl the wild card. Aren't Australians just crazy? Is that a stereotype? And then there was this Japanese girl. And her thing was that she was like the peacemaker of the group, which is where we go more into racial stereotypes. And she always had this pot of tea. Like, whenever something bad would happen, she'd be like, come to my room, guys. And then she would serve them this pot of tea that she just carried around. And I don't know, I feel like that's offensive. But, oh, her name is Violet. Yes. I'm saving my favorite for last, by the way. Everyone's favorite. I don't know that, actually. I don't know anybody else who read Tia Stilton. Okay, the last one that I remember is the girl in pink. I think she was just also American. But I feel like there was someone that I'm missing. The last one that I remember is the girl in pink. I think she was just also American. But her thing was just that she was really girly. Everyone else had wildly offensive stereotypes, but she was just like a girly girl. Also an American. And she wore all pink, and she had like blonde fur. All of them had like, okay, Geronimo Stilton didn't have any hair on his head, but he had fur. All of the ladies in Tia Stilton's group had hair and fur. So I don't know if Geronimo is bald or if it's just like, maybe it's normal for them to be like, if we were like, well, okay, we don't have fur though. Why am I trying to justify this? Girl. Okay, I remember now that there used to be, this is like the new edition of Geronimo Stilton. There used to be, because I know by the little logos, there used to be a way more detailed one. And when they rolled out this simplified, minimalistic thing, I was furious. I was like, bring back the original Geronimo Stilton artist now. I was right. There is not. Oh, there is another one. There was a black one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, girly. Although I don't know if she counts as black because she just has dark fur. But she does have, you know, curly hair. Oh, they had like a little Colette. I was way off. Okay, so the strain's name is Nikki, of course. Yes, she has a boomerang in her picture and the little cowboy hat. Also, some of them wore shoes and some of them didn't. So, I really want to know what like the politics of New Mouse City are. Nikki, and then the blonde one's name was Colette. Oh, she was from France. Oh, sorry, she wasn't American. She was from France, and she was like a fashionista. Pamela is the. Where was she from? It doesn't say, but she's the mechanic. You can tell because she has cargo shorts. And then Paulina was the one from, I think, Peru. What did I say before? I said Peru. And then I was right. Violet is the Japanese one. She was for racial diversity. We love Tia Stilton for promoting diversity in the workplace. What if they just have mouse slurs? Does this look good? I feel like it looks like a black eye. But Colette says she can't stand nicknames. Okay, girl. She loves the color pink. Her strengths are that she's energetic and full of great ideas. Weaknesses, she's always late. Girl. And secret to relax, there's nothing Colette likes more than a mani and a pedi. She doesn't have nails. Next character. Okay, Violet. Nickname Vi. Okay, it does say she's from China. So cut everything that I said before. I'm so sorry for saying that she was Japanese. That's really embarrassing. She loves books. She's a real intellectual, just like Geronimo. Geronimo's not an intellectual. Weaknesses, she's a bit sensitive and can't stand being teased. And if she doesn't get enough sleep, she can be a grouch. You know, that's not really a weakness. Sorry, Tia. Also, it's weird, Tia, that you have profiles on your friends like this. Like, what if I had my friends' strengths and weaknesses? You know what? I feel like I would consider doing that before. And then she likes to unwind by listening to classical music and drinking green tea. See, this is what I was talking about. In the picture she is pouring a cup of tea. And then in her additional picture, she is holding a tray of tea. So this is what I mean when I say it was like her whole thing. Like, she was the tea girl. And every time something would happen, she would whip out her tea. Okay, Pamela. Oh, they were called the Tia Sisters. That's so fire. Imagine having a group being named after one of them, and you can't do anything about it because she's the one who formed the group. Pamela, nicknamed Pam, home Tanzania. I can't see. It's like there's like 3 pixels in the screenshot. Secret ambition wants to become a sports journalist or a car mechanic. So she's a tomboy, guys. Tomboy alert. Uh-oh. Loves pizza, and more pizza. She could eat pizza for breakfast. She could. You can. Weaknesses, she's very impulsive. Secret, give her a screwdriver and any mechanical problem will be solved. Okay, girl. You know what? Let me not hate on a fellow black woman. Mouse. Okay, here's Paulina. Nickname Polly. Home Peru. Strengths, loves helping other rodents. I like that they specify that it's a rodent. There was only mice. There were no other species. Maybe there are like a lower class. Maybe there's like gerbils and like hamsters and stuff. And they're considered like the lower class. Because the whole place is named New Mouse City. So that would suggest that they have some sort of segregation from other races, right? Because there's not like subsets of people, or like humans. Imagine if we had like New Human City, but there were like some non-humans, or like some different kinds of humans. Because it's not race. Gerbils aren't considered like a race. Are they? Are the mice like one race, and then gerbils and hamsters are another race? But then they're from different countries and they have different colored fur. Or can any of them have fur? Because Geronimo has like light brown fur, but Tia has like gray fur. But she loves helping other rodents. This really makes me wonder about like the class situation now. Like, does Geronimo still have racism in it? It has to, because they have all these wild stereotypes that closely align with human stereotypes. Anyway, and her secret is that she's a computer genius. That wasn't a secret. That was like her whole thing again. In her little picture, she's going like that in front of a laptop. Name Nikki, nickname Nick. NIC, like nicotine. Name Nikki, nickname Nicotine. She loves open spaces and nature. Strengths, she's always in a good mood as long as she's outdoors. I would consider that a weakness. Weaknesses, she can't sit still. Maybe because she needs to be outside, guys. You need to consider her needs. Secret, Nikki is claustrophobic. She can't stand being in small, tight places. This is the first legitimate secret. That should be a weakness, actually. This article says Blackpink as Tia sisters. What a crossover. Anyway, that was my in-depth analysis. Like, imagine liking Geronimo Stilton that much. Imagine having no hose. And even though I missed out on the majority, like most popular books when I was a child, the only thing I read was like The Magic Tree House and Geronimo Stilton. Okay, I did get into Percy Jackson like late, like I was like 15. But here I go talking about Percy Jackson again. I don't really remember what happened in any of the books, but I best believe I will be tuning in to the show. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be there for Logan Lerman. Like, I'm gonna be there for him. Dylan O'Brien is dominating the white man from yesteryear, starring in movies genre. Let me get my chart out, actually. Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg. Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg. Self-explanatory. Logan Lerman, Dylan O'Brien. It's connected. This says just a couple of guys. They are. Think of how many times that you've mistaken Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon. Why? Because they're just a couple of guys. Dylan O'Brien and Logan Lerman don't look that similar. Think of how many times you've mistaken them. Why? They're just a couple of guys. And they always seem to be attracted to the same genre, same type of movie, which furthers the confusion and further puts them in the category of just a couple of guys. Now, down here you see that I have added Asa Butterfield here. I don't think that he is really part of the, what is it? Not trifecta, the quadrifecta? Quafecta? That sounded really offensive. But I've added here portrayed as Jewish because he was in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas and he is in Hunters. Although I think Logan Lerman is actually Jewish. But I just don't think that Asa fits in the same category as these two or in the fourfecta. But he just didn't have like 2010's white boy renaissance. You know, white people in general. Shailene Woodley, that one guy, maybe it was Ansel Elgort and that one guy who looks exactly like him, Miles Teller, I don't know. There's like 3 of them that look exactly like him. And Josh Hutcherson. Goodness gracious. Josh wasn't in a lot of movies, but he was like dominating the scene. Not as much as Shailene and Ansel. Like, they were domestic terrorists. Like, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing Shailene Woodley. And that guy who played Gale, I guess. Wait, is Gale's hungry? Wait, is the guy who played Gale and the guy who played that guy in Divergent the same person? The whole cast terrorizing the movie world in the 2010s. Dylan O'Brien was more in that, like, he was more in that world. Because he was in Teen Wolf, right? I never watched it and I never will because I've been hurt before by teen shows that went on for a really long time. But Dylan O'Brien, you could not escape him. And Logan Lerman, similar, not the same, but similar. The only thing I remember him being in is Percy Jackson. So I'm saying they're in the same category. Asa Butterfield, what was he in? What is that movie called? The one where they go to space. Space movie. Hello? Okay, it's not The Space Between Us. The other space movie. Ender's Game. That movie was not good. But yeah, see, he just doesn't fit in the same category. He was always, like, I feel like in more serious movies. 2008, that was like his first movie. He's starring in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. He's just not in the same playing field. And that's okay. Anyway, I think I'm done. I still have like 15 minutes. So I'm gonna just take a really long long time to put